Warm greetings. Welcome for online video session of Software Engineering 18CS35. Myself Jagdish from Kerala Engineering College, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In the last video session, we have seen about system modeling. In the system modeling, we have seen the definition of system modeling and why we have to see on existing system before system modeling, and we have seen about different perspective of the system modeling. There is an external perspective, interaction perspective, structural perspective, and behavioral perspective. And we have seen about 5 different types of UML diagram, as we stated in the different 5 types of diagram as we stated in the last video session. One is activity diagram, and the second one is use case diagram, third one is sequence diagram, and fourth one is class diagram, and fifth one is state diagram. And then we have covered about the why the graphical model is important. That is in the 3 ways. That is, it is used for to decide whether existing or proposed system has to be developed or make use of the existing system, and for documenting purpose, and to give a detailed description about the system implementation. Then next we have saw about context model and why context model is important before implementation system, and we have saw the example of mental health care management, patient management system of context model diagram, as well as we have saw the activity diagram of the mental patient healthcare system. So in this video session, we will see about the interaction models, and topics covered on these chapters is structural model, behavioral model, and model driven engineering. But now we will see about on interaction model, why interaction model is important. Interaction model modeling user interaction is important as it helps to identify the user requirement. Here also we are identifying the user requirements of the system. Modeling system to system interaction highlights the communication problems that may arise. In the interaction model, the main thing is to highlight the problem that arises during the communication between the system requirement as well as the client. Third point on interaction modeling is components interaction help us to understand if a proposed system structure is likely to deliver the required system performances and dependability. It helps to understand the proposed system structure likely to deliver the required system performances and its dependability. Here in the interaction model, we will discuss about the use case diagram and sequence diagram that is used for interaction modeling. So these are the 2 related approaches that is regarding that is interaction modeling. So modeling system is to highlight the communication between the communication problem that may arise during the system requirements. So it is component interaction helps to understand if a proposed system structure is likely to deliver the required system performance and dependability. So that is what we have seen. We are going to be seeing in the coming slides. So we have seen here use case modeling as well as sequence modeling. In the use case modeling is used to model the interaction between the system and the external actors. It is usually developed originally to support the requirement elicitation into the UML. So requirement elicitation in the first chapter or first module, what you have seen, that is just to getting the information from the client side for the system development. So with the help of the system, there is a requirement elicitation, how to incorporate, how to develop that into a UML is seen in the use case modeling. And in each use case, it represents the there is discrete task. There is nothing not as a continuous task. Breaking. There is dividing the task that involves the external interaction with the system. Actors in use case may be a people or the system. System in the sense is a whole, as a whole, not a component part. As a whole, it can be involved. Or if you want, you can give there is a discrete task for each actor. That can also be happened in the use case modeling. Represented diagrammatically to provide an overview of the use cases and in more detail in the textual form. So usually when it comes to use case modeling, we come across only two types of that is part of the diagram. That is, one is actor and another one is a description of the subsystem, which is represented using Eclipse. And we make use of a arrow to represent a flow of event from the actor to the event. In detail, if you want it, you can give it in a textual format in a tabular column. So that will come across by taking one example in the next coming slide. So you can see here that this diagram is transferring the data use cases. That is, medical reception is one actor transferring the data of the patient record system. Patient record system is a software or it may be a tool where medical reception is transferring the data into the system. So this can be an example of using a there is medical use cases diagram using a medical receptionist and patient record system. Here you can see the use case is shown in a Eclipse. And with the actors involved in the use cases represented a stick, and each use case represents a discrete task. That is nothing but it divides the task into a subsystem that involves an external interaction with the system. Here, use case of the mental health care patient management system represents that uploading the data. That is, it uploading the data from the mental health care management system to a more general patient record system. So, it updating the record of individual to the whole system as a tool. So, this is something like maintaining a summary of the patient data rather than the data about there is a consultation or what are the previous record of the patient. Such type of information are stored in the system, and that is not represented here. But by seeing this use case diagram, is that medical reception is transferring the data to a system. But what type of data it is storing, that we cannot analyze by seeing this diagram. If you want, you can give it in detail of in which what type what type In a tabular column, you can give the entire data in a tabular column. So you can see here it's a tabular description of the previous diagram. That is transferring the data use cases. Here you can see the actor. What actor actually doing? It's a medical receptionist as well as patient record system. It's a actor. You can see the previous diagram. One is medical receptionist as well as patient record system is a actors. One is actor in the sense it can be a soft system or a whole system. And what actually it gives a description about the use case. A receptionist may transfer a data from the mental health care patient management system to a general patient record database. It's transferring the data to a database that is maintained by a health authority. This information transfer may either be updated personal information, that is address, phone number, date of birth, gender, etc., or summary of the patient diagnosis and treatment. If it is a new patient, then this information is added. If the whole patient, then summary of the diagnosis or what type of treatment is been given is been updated in the software or tool. And data is patient personal information, or it may be a treatment summary, or it may be updated of the prescription, etc. Stimulus is a user command issued by the medical receptionist. Response: confirmation that patient record system has been updated. Response will be added or acknowledgement is sent back to the actor that the patient information has been updated. Commands: the receptionist must have appropriate security or permission to access the patient information and the patient record system. So who can access the system? The appropriate user, or there is one who have a permission to access the data or a system to that actor or to that patient, that is a medical receptionist, given a authority to access the patient information or patient record system. So by giving this one diagram, it's able to understand by the implementation team. Yes, it is able to understand by the implementation team. Along with, you should give a brief description about the use case. Who was the actor, for what purpose, and what data is required, and who are all able to access the data, and what is the response and stimulus. So these are the various information has to be given in the tabular column. So sometimes it is there is use cases or something like not able to understand the simple diagram, then you should give there is a composite use case diagram. So composite use case diagram of there is where number of different use cases are being used. Sometimes it is possible to include some all possible interaction use cases or with the system in a single composite of the use case diagram. And it is impossible because some of the there is a number of use cases cannot be involved, or in such cases there is you can develop several diagrams to give a brief description about the system. And in the next coming diagram, you can see the mental health care management system. There is actor. What all the activities has to be done in briefly or in full detail, it can be represented. Here you can see here the actor medical reception. What are the things or what are the work has to be done is given in detail. That is patient register patient, unregistered patient, view patient information, transfer the data, contact patient. So the single diagram can also, this previous single diagram what we saw, that also can make use of, or we can make use of by giving this type of diagram in detail. So this is how we can give the information for the implementation team to the development of the code. So next, coming to the sequence diagram. Sequence diagrams are the part of the UML, that is Unified Modeling Languages, and are used to model the interaction between the actor and the object within a system. A sequence diagram shows the sequence of interaction that take place during particular use cases. The objects and the actors involved are listed along the top of the diagram with a dotted line drawn vertically from this. So you can see the diagram in the next coming slide. So dotted line, that is object and actor involved are listed along from top to top of the diagram with a dotted line. Interaction between the objects are indicated by annotated arrows. Interaction between the objects are indicated by annotated arrows. So this I will show in the next coming slide. There is you can see here the rectangle on the dotted lines. You can see here the rectangle dotted lines indicates the lifeline. Rectangle dotted lines indicates the lifeline. This is what actually lifeline of the object. The time that is object in the instance or involved in the computation. So computation process how many at what time or that is involved in the computation purpose, and there is a sequences interaction from top to bottom. It is a sequences interaction from the top to bottom. There is arrows indicated. We see this is a box named alt is used with the condition indicated in square bracket. You can see here alt that is used with the condition indicated in the square brackets. So authorization is if it is okay, as well as authorization fail. You can see here medical receptionist. If you want view the patient information ID, that triggers the view the information in instances of the patient. That is instance of the patient information object classes, supplying the patient information ID in a user interface object. So which displays the form showing the patient information. In the second, you can see here this instance calls the databases. It calls the databases. You can see here mental health care patient management system database. And it calls a database to return the information required by supplying the receptionist identifier. By supplying the receptionist identifier. See, along with the UID, patient receptionist identifier is also involved for security purposes. So overall, asking the information that cannot be given. So with the help of the medical receptionist user ID, along with the information of the patient ID, is getting the information from data from the databases. And if the authorized is okay, then it acknowledges the there is information to the database. Yes, who is the person who is asking the data is can access the data. That is, it checks the data. That is, checks the databases with the authorization system. the user is authorized for this action. Yes, this user is authorized for this action. If the authorized, the patient information is returned and from the on the user screen is filled in. If the authorization is failed, then an error message will be that is sent to the medical receptionist. So this is what actually halt. If the authorization user is valid, then it will be sends a information. Otherwise, it sends a error messages onto. That is, you cannot access the information. So this is what actually sequence diagram for the view of the patient information. This is just to view the patient information. This is what actually we call as a sequence diagram. So use cases diagram just it gives the just general information, whereas in the sequence diagram it gives entire detailed information of the system. So this is what actually one example of the sequence diagram. And this is dotted line vertically. It gives the life dotted line will give the that is lifespan of the system or lifeline of the object. Dotted line that is on a rectangular boxes, it gives a lifeline of the object. That gives the lifeline of the object. So this see the lifeline of this authorization is very limited. Only if the authorized is valid, then it sends the information. Till that the lifeline of the database will be waiting for the acknowledgement from the authorization. Then once the authorization sent back to the database, then the lifeline of the authorization is end. So then after authorization is received in the database of the healthcare patient management system, then it sends the patient information. If the authorization is okay, if it sends error message if authorization fails. So see, you can see the lifeline of the authorization is end in a short period, whereas lifeline of the database as well as lifeline of the patient information is it will be there till if authorization is okay or authorization is failed. So this is what the sequence diagram of the patient health management system. And we'll see the one more example that is same on sequence diagram for the transferring data. Here one more actor is to record the patient system is been added. You can see the patient information, database, authorization, then patient record system. So you can see here the receptionist log on to the patient record system. It log on to the patient record system, and if the authorization is okay, then it returns the okay. There are two options available. That is, one is direct transfer of the updated patient record information to the PRS, and transfer of summary health data to the mental health care patient to the PRS. And in the reception asks the permission to check the authorization of the system. So if just to check the data, and if receptionist asks the permission for authorization, so updated information it asks the permission. Yeah, you can see the authorized asks the permission, and authorization is send the data. If the authorization is valid, then you can update the record. So update the information, updated PRS UID, and authorize the UID. If the authorized UID is okay, then it returns the authorization. Then updated the PID, updated okay. So you can see the lifeline of the system, and you can add a summary of object at the lower of the authorization. You can update the summary and you can view the record. once again. If the updated is okay, updated is in P, that is PRS, then it sends a message to the patient information. Yes, message is updated. So this is what actually in detail they are given about the sequence of the transfer of the data from medical receptionist to the PRS. So once the login is over, then log out. So that is the medical receptionist log out from the PRS. So it sends the data and it log outs. So here, unless a sequence diagram is that is diagrams are used for the code generation. If this code, if the code generation is not used, if they will go for sequence diagram, then detailed documentation is not required. If the, by seeing the sequence diagram, coding is going to be done by the implementation team. Then detailed information has to be given in the sequence diagram. So make a note this. So if the coding is not done based on the sequence diagram, then there is no need of giving a full information. If the coding is done based on the sequence diagram, then it should be given a full update. So if you give the diagram like this for the implementation team, then by seeing this, the implementation team start developing the code easily. So this is one of the advantages of taking a sequence diagram. So next we'll see on the structural diagram in the next class, next online classes. By this I will wind up the second online session of the module 3. So if you have any doubt, you can ask in the online classes. So please view the video once. If you're not able to understand, you can view once again. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.